These piranha plants can't hurt Mario, and these moles rain from the sky. Today, we're going to look at amazingly creative levels with simple setups in Mario Maker 2. Darkness levels can be awful to play when you have to guess where to go. Luckily, in this one, the creator uses a trick to show Mario which areas are safe. You see, by launching a shelmet that hits piranha plants and blocks as it moves, Mario can sense through the darkness. The 1-up text perfectly tells Mario where he can land without showing him anything around it. If Mario doesn't follow the text, he falls on some painful spike traps. When spiced up with some platforming challenges and interesting enemies, you've got an awesome level that most people have never seen before. Story mode introduces a lot of fun characters that we don't get to interact with enough. Well, this clever creator noticed that most of the night course themes in the Super Mario World style feature a familiar canine in the background. In this course, Undo Dog races Mario on his rocket ship. Mario has 20 seconds to think fast and get ahead of Undo Dog to win the race. Piranha plants have been destroying Mario since the very first Super Mario Bros. Game, but what if we make a deal with them to not bite Mario anymore? In this course, some piranha plants are safe to walk through, while others can eat Mario as a snack. You see, the creator uses vines that grow out of a block on a track. These blocks are moving downward, so the vines seem to stay in place. You can also use custom auto-scroll to keep Mario from seeing the ground, so all the vines and piranha plants look identical in the Super Mario Bros. 1 style. Haunted ghost houses in Mario Maker 2 could be even scarier by completely turning out the lights. See, in this level, the creator found a way to make the entire screen dark, even poor Mario. If you create a level in the ghost house night theme, it adds a darkness effect. Then, we just need to max out the game's light entity limit by adding as many Boo Buddies as possible. 100 of these ghostly rings loaded on the screen makes for a pitch black level. Make sure to test it out from the play button in the Core Spot screen because it won't work from the editor itself. And hey, if done correctly, you can even unload and reload a few Boo Buddies for a scary flickering light effect that will keep Mario up at night. We've all heard of falling rocks, but have you heard of falling Rockies? In this course, Rocky wrenches Kamikaze down to attack Mario as he platforms across a slow auto-scroll section. Rocky wrenches are known to immediately burrow down when landing on a surface, but they actually fall straight through several terrain elements such as donut blocks, lifts, and bridges. If we add a parachute and have these angry critters drop from above the screen, Mario will have no idea what hit him. A lot of people think Spike is a villain in the Mario universe when he's actually just misunderstood. In this level, Spike actually gives Mario a shield to keep him safe from hordes of enemies. You see, the Spike Ball can actually deflect and destroy almost anything that hits it. Mario can use this rolling protection to take out hammers, floppy fish, and even Koopaling projectiles. To get even more creative, we can use a setup like this to move the shield up and down. Bosses in Mario Maker 2 can feel repetitive for most levels. Fortunately for us, this maker decided to create a giant crocodile boss that breaks the mold. In this one, terrain blocks, pipes, and all sorts of elements make up the giant enemy who has Mario's precious key in its mouth. Mario needs to find a way to damage the beast while grabbing a star to get the key without being swallowed. Ground blocks are the go-to element to make the floor, but this next creator shows off more interesting terrain for Blue Toad instead. You see, with the Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom, this mushroom man gets the ability to walk on top of enemies. Using this knowledge, we can make blocks underneath that spawn enemies at a fast rate for Blue Toad to run across. A spike ball rolls underneath pushed by a thwomp for running speed, and enemies with parachutes become the ground to run on top of. Any person who has played a Mario game understands that spike traps equal pain. Well, in this level, Mario can freely jump into spike traps and even run over the top of them. You see, when Mario has devoured the giant mushroom, he becomes wide enough to step on ground blocks even with spike traps in between. To complete this course, he needs to avoid taking any damage, otherwise he will suddenly be vulnerable to every spike trap. Mario's always stealing Koopa's shell to use it as a weapon. This level requires Mario to hold a Koopa shell to finish the course, but Koopa won't let that happen so easily. You see, if a POW shockwave is set off close enough, it will destroy the shell but won't affect Mario himself. So, Mario has to jump rope around the explosions while holding onto his precious cargo to make it to the end. Sweet, sweet gold can make Mario do some crazy things, but in this one, he will actually need to hold himself back. Let me explain. The coins he leaves behind when the P-switch is active will turn into bricks and will actually become his route to try to escape each room. If he gets too greedy or doesn't think ahead, he could get stuck or fall into the abyss below. One of the coolest fights in Mario Odyssey has to be against the dragon boss. Well, in this level, the creator makes their own version of a dragon fight. Link needs to protect himself against the fire breath while sending the fire back into the dragon's mouth to do major damage. When Link does enough damage, he must run along the dragon's back as it sinks into the lava, never to be seen again. One of my favorite mechanics in the Super Mario World style is shattering blocks with spin jumps when you're big. This next level takes that idea to the extreme and makes Blue Mario a powerful drill. You see, by dropping bullet blasters on Blue Toad's head, he can slice his way through blocks at ludicrous speed. To make sure no harm is done to our friendly fungus, a sideways trampoline on a conveyor belt pushes him out of the way at the last moment. We all know that coins taste delicious, but what if they could open pathways too? In this one, the maker gives coins the ability to trigger an on-off switch when they're all collected from a room, which then let Blue Toad move on to the next. To do this, off-screen thwomps detect when Toad reaches the locations of the coins and activates a block to move a muncher towards the center. Once both munchers reach the middle, a bob-omb is destroyed to trigger the on-off switch. There's no worse feeling than wearing wet socks. This level forces you to keep them dry or you need to start over. This is done through entity limit manipulation. Here's a video on the screen if you want to learn a quick way to do it, but essentially a muncher can't spawn from this pipe until a different enemy on the screen dies, like this fishbones. So basically, if Mario touches the water, the on-off triggers and he needs to dry off before trying this room again. Mario Maker 2's most requested feature was slopes, and boy did we get them. The only sad part is that we can't slide down them in the Super Mario Bros. Style like we can in every other style. Don't worry, this creator's got us covered. They found a way to slide on these slopes by stacking Goombas on dry bones in a tight sloped hallway. Now Blue Toad can prove that the Super Mario Bros. Style is just as good as everything else. The Koopalings are an amazing addition to Mario Maker 2, but after having them for years, the fights can feel a little bit stale. Luckily, this creator gave us an interesting twist on a Wendy encounter. You see, Blue Toad is stuck in a tight corridor with strawberry donuts of doom headed right for him. He needs to move quickly and pass obstacles to make it out alive. We can make snowballs explode or even hide the entire screen with a green curtain. To see some mind-blowing illusions, click on the video on the screen right now. I'm Arrowstotle, and thanks for watching.